Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Melbourne Python Meetup. So before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the land where we meet today. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land we meet today, Run Jury people of Kulin Nation, and pay the respect to their elders, past and present. My name is Pirona. You can call me PP, and I'll be your MC for tonight. And I'm really excited to have you all with me today. Just a quick reminder that we follow the MelbPy Code of Conduct. In simple terms, please be respectful, be inclusive, and be kind. We want everyone to feel welcome, safe, and comfortable to share and learn. I would like to thanks to our sponsor today, the first Judo Bank for this amazing venue. May I know if you want to house?
Hi, thanks for that. Hello everyone. It's great to see some familiar faces and some new faces as well. So it's great to see everyone here tonight. If you don't know about Judo Bank is a bank playing in the SME sector, planning to become Australia's most trusted bank. We have some really great rates on term deposits if anyone's interested in checking out our website. For tonight, if there's any issues with facilities or things like that, doors not unlocking or things, please let me know and I will assist you. Toilets are all the way down the end past the lifts and to your right. Please be aware they are all gendered. And if I can have anyone's help keeping this place clean so we can keep running this event, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you and have a nice evening.
Thank you. And the next one, I would like to say thank you to AWS. May I know if anyone from AWS today? Okay. And the next one, also I would like to say thank you to Star for the drink. May I know now if you want to have?
Thanks everyone for coming. Yes, we sponsored the drinks. If you don't know who Style is, we build an education platform to deliver science curriculum to students around Australia. Half of students learn with Style, so it's a big number, and we're expanding to over 2 million students in the next 2 years. So we have some big scale problems that we need to solve, and we're hiring. So if you want to talk to me, come talk to me later.
Thank you, Mel. Yeah, once again, thank you so much for your continued support our community. And here's the agenda today. We have kickstart the welcoming at 6 p.m. And at 6:15, we will welcome our first speaker, Yongkang. He's a founder and advisor at ksug.ai on Python. And he will take us through the Python Power AI image generation on KTE. With a hands-on with Stable Diffusion, PyTorch, and Kubernetes. At 6:45, we will have a quick break. And feel free to grab more food and drink. At 7, we have Ian Becker. He's the cultural academic at OMIT to share about the topic turning the table. At 7:30 p.m., we will have the marketplace session. And we will wrap up our session at 7:40, and the door will close at 8 o'clock. So please join me to welcome Yongkang to the stage.
Thanks, Vivi. Hello, good evening everyone. First of all, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And also I'd like to extend thanks to the sponsors and the Style, Judo Bank, AWS, without the sponsors, we can't make it happen. I'm also running the meetup, seriously. And also the volunteers, the organizers. Without them to help you, definitely you're not able to make any events happen. So tonight, I'm very happy to be here, so excited. I want to share what I learned with more people. I don't know how many of you are developers. What about the rest? Or infra guys? I tell you what, either infra guys take the job of developers, or the other way. Yeah, is that true? Seriously, I'm a infra guy. I don't know the coding at all, but I'm sharing how I can use the Python app, a bunch of the tech stacks. But I'm not alone. I got a bunch of the assistant or helpers. Guess what? AI. AI helped me. Yeah, serious. So the reason I choose this topic is I was just thinking when I try to submit the talks to some other events, I talk about a DK, I talk about a Kubernetes. They don't care. Okay, seriously, they don't care. So I go to ask the AI tool, say, I want to do something more fun related to Kubernetes, and plus to showcase the AI capabilities. That's where you are going to see. Okay. So let's talk more hands-on. Did you guys bring your laptop? No, come on, yeah. But you got access to all the resources. Yeah, feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. So you guys are still one of the very first 50s out there. Okay, thank you for following me. A little bit of our community. So I don't want to spend too much time, but just to showcase some of the numbers. I didn't make money in the last few years. I'm making impact. Okay, you see how many people follow us. A little bit more of myself. At one point, I was literally part of all the cloud community. So you see some of the cross sign here, but not every cloud are created equal. Okay, so you don't have to get certified. You don't have to be part of every community. So some of these expire. I don't care. Yeah, I do whatever I like. So I'm still Google developer expert. I'm still AWS community builder. I'm no longer CNCF ambassador. I'm no longer Microsoft MVP. So which one of the badges is your favorite? Anyone has any questions to any one of the badges? Or never heard of these? So which one?
I've never heard of this.
Any one of these? Oh, surprise. Anyway, yeah. In the cloud native world, in the new multi-cloud world, so there are quite a few communities. If you're interested, you should join AWS community builder, Microsoft MVP, or Google developer expert, or Alibaba also have their own MVP. Cloud native CNCF have their own ambassador program. Yeah, to check it out. It's more fun. Yeah, you're part of the larger team. You can networking, learn from your peers. There are lots of opportunities. Google is my favorite. Guess what? You see my jacket, my shoes. Okay. Guess what? Yeah, Google provided lots of the travel funding for me to travel a lot of places. That's why it's my favorite. And also they give us lots of the swags. Really? Yeah, seriously, I love it.
I mean, the jacket's great.
The jacket is pretty cool, yeah. I guess at my home, I got lots of swags from Google. None of these are from, I mean, I do have some from other cloud, but compared the rest of all doesn't beat Google. Okay, anyway, a little bit more about the badges. I love to collect all the digital badges. Not all, yeah. I did all AWS. I did the 11 Azure. I did the 8 Google, and plus the 8, I think 8 Oracle, 7 Alibaba, all Kubernetes. All the cloud community, cloud companies, they want you spend money, keeps renewing it, which is I so much hate. I get that you need to learn continuous learning. It does help you refresh knowledge, but keeps asking people to pay the full price doesn't make sense. That's why I created the two community. So Austron, AWS, If you are fully certified on AWS, you claim the digital badge. It's forever, okay? You don't have to renew. The same thing for the Keepstone. They only created the, once you pass all the 5 Kubernetes certification, you can get the Keepstone badge. But the problem is, it's going to expire. I need a nice title to showcase, you know, I'm certified on Kubernetes. So I created Keepstone, okay? Anyway, I've done enough talking of myself. Yeah, let's do something fun. Do you guys know who is running the largest cluster in the world? KSUG.ai, Kesuga.ai. Yeah, we got 180,000 nodes. We're running the largest cluster. No one can beat us. And we got a control plane running from all APAC, EMEA, North America, and all 6 largest node pool or node groups here. Okay? If anyone wants to scan the QR code, surprises. So I constantly give the price, like a loading certification discount code, share with our community. Scan the QR code, fill out the form. But I do need you guys to support us, okay? Follow our LinkedIn pages. So I'm sure one of you guys, actually I feel these guys, you should be able to win the prize. Okay, so let's do this. The slides, you guys all can read, but I want to give you some live demo to showcase how it works. Let me jump to the Google console. I need the internet, just give me 1 second. So any questions so far? By the way, if you guys are interested to continue to do more learning, you can join our meetup as well. So I'm running every month at the Amazon office. Okay, our next one, 3rd December. I do need more speakers as well. So like me, I'm not an expert on AI, honestly. But I can learn something, I can share what I learn. Well, that's good enough to help the community, okay? So I logged into the Google Cloud console here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to showcase the GKE capabilities, but I need a GKE cluster first. So I want to show you live how to create the GKE cluster. So I'm going to the GitHub repository. So that's the GitHub repository I created. I got lots of stuff here. Yeah, feel free to have a look. And one of the stuff I just created about 2 months ago, AI on GKE image generator. Okay, so you just follow along. You should be able to launch a cluster, and I'm going to launch the cluster now. So what I'm going to do is, do you guys know the Cloud Shell? Yeah. I'm going to launch the Cloud Shell here. Let me make the slide a little bigger. Can you guys see it? So now if you follow along here, it's pretty simple. You just copy the command. So you can review the code later. Yeah, I just copy paste the command here. Actually, it's not in this directory. I need to change it to this AI directory. And then I'm going to run this command. It should be able to create a cluster. Let's see. So hopefully, you know why I love Google Cloud GKE? GKE is the fastest. If you want to spin up a cluster, manage the Kubernetes cluster, GKE is the fastest. Like 5 minutes or 6 minutes, you can have a GKE cluster. Okay, while we're waiting, let's come back. So if you're interested to see, actually, yes, I copied the right one. You can see, let me make the slide bigger. Can you guys see this? Yeah, basically it's just running the command AI on GKE cluster GPU. Okay, you do have the option to choose a CPU. But CPU, if you want to run something, it's so slow, okay? So I choose the GPU. And if you're interested to see what the command looks like, it's all from here. Pretty simple. So this is a command. Basically, a couple of parameters, how to create the cluster here. You can see I also put some more parameters here. So for the GPU, this is a command, gcloud command, to create cluster. Basically just one command. But you need to choose the time, the location, the zone, etc. I choose the GPU. That's NVIDIA Tesla T4. That can speed up the image creation. Any questions so far? It does take 5 minutes or 6 minutes. Yeah, all silent, just wait. Okay. Yeah, so while we're waiting here, let me come back here. Yeah, I should be able to walk you a little bit more here. So the Gen AI, anyone not using AI tools, any tools, like a ChatGPT, Gemini, Amazon Q, yeah, you should use. If you're not use, you will be replaced by your peers, seriously. You're not moving fast enough. So the slides, I just copied the whole GitHub repository and it created slides for me. Yeah, serious. Okay, I created this afternoon here. And I'm not going to talk about a little bit some of these here. The rise of the Gen AI, yeah, literally used everywhere. I created a LinkedIn post also using AI, either Gemini or OpenAI. And you do summarization. You create the image, yeah?
I just wonder about the GPU option. Is that the CUDA or any Microsoft or different?
Sorry, I missed your question.
The GPU is on command. Is that the option
Yeah,
for
sorry.
CUDA? Okay. Thank you. I was just wondering about the GPU option on the command. I mean, can you switch to the command on the console?
The command here.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, so the GPU option over there, is that for the CUDA or for the Microsoft?
Sorry, where you are talking?
Yeah, the GPU parameter.
The GPU.
Yeah. Is that the CUDA or Microsoft or different?
No, so basically, if you look at the code here, it's just give you two options. Either you create a CPU or the GPU cluster.
But the GPU should be from like different companies from like NVIDIA.
Oh, you mean from a different cloud
Yeah,
provider?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, it can be different.
Can be different, right?
Yes, yes.
So this one for, I mean, you can
Yeah,
use
so in this case, I was using NVIDIA Tesla T4.
RT4.
So there is L4, and AMD also have their own different types. And so in Amazon language, they call EC2 type,
Okay.
instance type. It's different. So Google say machine type.
Thank you, thank you.
No problem.
How long did it take you to get all those certifications, all those badges?
All the badges.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep doing it. So I started my first exam, cloud exam, truly cloud exam. So that's Azure Administrator. So AZ 104. That was 5 years ago. And then I just keep doing it. I follow some other guys. They did a lot more than me. Okay. So I just follow some of the guys. I keep doing it. Most of my certification did in 2021 or 22, and then I become smart. That's why I created the Cube Smart program, the Cube Strong program. Simply, you do 100 certification doesn't help you find any single job. Okay, don't just follow someone else. Yes, someone else they did 100 or even more certifications. They are doing on different purposes. Okay, so we just have to be smart. That's why I often tell my friends, you just pick up the most important one. Who is looking? Check the job description. People are looking at Amazon AWS solution architect, looking for certified Kubernetes administrator or Google Cloud engineer. Do the critical one. Yeah, you don't have to do all of these. Okay, so that's just my personal suggestion. Yeah. So all the cloud I mentioned earlier, all the cloud providers, they keep introducing new certifications, which I hated. Why you're not trying to help people get to the job? You keep introducing, CNCF just introduced 2 new certifications. That doesn't help the people finding the job. Okay. Anyway, so for this project, I was purely created just as a playground for myself to learn, also help someone else to learn. So it provided text input, and then I was using Python Streamlit for the UI, and then GKE for the backend. And it will generate a really nice image. Let's see. Okay, looks like it's still working. Oh, actually, it's already done. 6 minutes, it's already done. If you look at the document, let me come back here, the document. So we already have a cluster here. Yeah, you can read through later. What we are going to do is I want to deploy the application, so which is a Python-based application. I can show you shortly what it looks like. I deploy the Python application to the Kubernetes cluster. Before I do that, let me just show you. Anyone know Kubernetes? How to find how many nodes I have? No, that's too long. Just do K. So K get number, okay? It will show you how many nodes. So I only have one node cluster running. It should pop up. Yeah, it created 108 seconds ago. So we got the cluster running. If you want to check the pod, you can check the pod status as well. I'm going to deploy the application, but yeah, I can walk you through, how the deployment looks like, how the Python app looks like. I even created a GitHub action to automatically, once you update this, it will push it to the repository, create a new Docker image, push it to the Google Artifact registry. Anyone hold a Google Artifact registry? Basically, just Docker registry you think about, yeah. Okay, so we already, let's see if the app is running. So container creating, yeah, because the app, the image actually pretty big. So like a couple of gigabytes, yeah. So the first time it will load the image, get the import the image. It takes a little bit while, but literally just a few minutes, yeah. Any questions?
How expensive is it to run a single node?
Oh, sorry,
How expensive is it?
How expensive to run this?
Yeah, even a single node.
Even single, it doesn't even cost me a few dollars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like GPU per?
I was running GPU, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't pay, yeah. I don't pay, honestly, yeah. I'm a Google GD, so I got the credits from Google, yeah. I can run some of the experiments. But even you are running by yourself, it doesn't cost that much, yeah. Seriously, only, I keep running for a few days, only a couple of dollars. But one thing I need to highlight is the GPU wasn't immediately available to you. You need to make a request to increase the quota. By default is 0. Okay, you need to increase the quota from 0 to at least 1. For me, I just increased to 1.
And do you have like a dedicated GPU? Like you're the only one who has access to it, or is it shared between?
So for this one, I was using dedicated.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, but you can choose the spot instance. So in Google's terminology, they call the preemptible instance. So that will reduce the cost. Okay, hopefully now it should be running. Yeah, it is running. Yeah, 2 minutes ago. So now I really want to see if it works. So now you just get the external IP address. So I just copy the command, paste the command here. So give me the external. Well, I don't really care security. I just want to demonstrate the capabilities. So it's publicly available. Okay, if you want to access it, you can access as well. Okay, so now the first time, yeah, what we are going to do is by default it will ask the text. So a cube astronaut riding a dragon in space. So that's the text input, and then it will generate the image. Yeah, it's a stunning image, pretty cool. And I tried to compare with OpenAI or Gemini. Actually, I found that this image was pretty good. Yeah. And the first time it took a few minutes because the load model for the first time, the fact of the model size is about 8 gigabytes. So the stable diffusion, yeah, the size is pretty big, and also GPU initialization plus CUDA code warm up, code stuff on the GKE, yeah, it does take a few minutes. Well, let's see. Yeah. Can you guys see this? So you can say, you can even choose different models. Yeah, there is a basic base model, SDXL. There is realistic vision XL. And there are some parameters you can tune in as well. So yeah, I actually took a little bit time to figure out how to make it working. I asked multiple AI tools to help me, because there is a specific the version required. So that's why I also added the GPU diagnostics here. What are the versions, what's in use here, and hopefully just within a few seconds. So it's loading model right now. Once the model loaded, and you got the text, you can input the text you like. By default, it's a cube structure, writing a dragon in space. Let's see what it looks like. Any question? So far, good? So if you look around the rest, if you compare to running on CPU, on GPU only take like 15 or 20 years, or maybe maximum 30 seconds, but running on CPU might take 50 minutes or more. Okay, you don't want to waste, yeah. So, and then optionally, you can even scale up. You can scale the deployment. So that's a standard Kubernetes cluster scale. You can scale multiple pods, because the GPU actually right now it's assigned individual to the machine. So when you scale, it will spin up a new nodes actually. Okay. So the tech stack we're using here for the AI ML, we're using stable diffusion XL, PyTorch, diffusers, transformers. The front end was a Python web app, open framework for the UI, back end, etc. Okay, looks like it just loaded. So now, yeah, you can even tune the pixel as well, but maximum is to 1280. So we just leave it at default. Let's generate. I'm not worried about it fail. Guess what? If it failed, I don't know how to fix it. I just ask AI. I just ask Gemini, I ask Amazon Q, copy the whole error, and it will give you the answer. Yeah. Any question? If you're not, any one of you guys, if you're not using the AI, you will be left behind. Seriously, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any?
I give you a mic.
I'm not sure that it's out of topic or not, but I'm just curious though, why, do you have any specific reason to use PyTorch?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just ask AI, I want to build something to showcase the AI plus Kubernetes.
Okay.
And then it gives me all these. Okay, if you ask me individual some of these, I don't know. If you ask me to explain the Python app, I don't know either. Okay? But the thing is, the world is shifting. You don't have to know everything. Yeah? You understand? You got my point here. Let's see what the image looks like. Do you guys like this? Yeah, pretty good. Good quality, yeah. Very good. Take photos. Help us spread the news. Encourage more people to join our community. You should be able to do something similar. Yeah, serious. You can ask AI to help you. You just give some idea. I want to do something. I want to showcase something. And then the AI tool actually give you pretty good suggestions. Maybe in the first time it doesn't work, but you can just ask them to fix all the errors. It will make it working. Yeah. So I actually, initially it doesn't work. I tried all different tools, the codes, I tried Amazon Q, tried the Gemini, all different tools. And then they fix it for me, yeah. I'm so glad it works. Yeah? Anyone want to try? You just type the URL, you can try by yourself. Okay? What else? Yeah. Do we have a few more minutes or we're all done?
Yeah, we still have 4 minutes.
Okay. So the rest of the stuff I also listed here, the cloud infra, what are the technology we're using. Yeah, I want to just show you the containerization. You guys all know Docker. So you created the Docker file. So I want to show you the Docker file. What does the Docker file looks like here? So I got a Docker file here. It's a pretty simple one. Yeah, it's a very simple app.
So I choose this particular PyTorch in the runtime here. That makes life easier because you don't have to install additional multiple libraries, all the dependencies, and then the simple app, the library pass, the requirements here. You see the command, how to spin up the web UI, that's a Streamlit. That's it. So simple, so easy. Yeah. The Python app, so if you guys are Python developer, you guys are probably know better than me, okay? I can't really understand. Yeah, I don't really understand completely, entirely, but I know a little bit. So all the easy stuff are created by the AI tools. Okay? I know how to adjust a little bit, so like the text input, the default, all this. And so the Kubernetes deployment here, this is what it looks like. So I only spin up as a one replica. And the image, where are the image? This is an image location. It's from the Google artifact registry. And I was specify the request, the limit, and the service. Yeah, I was using the public cloud load balancer. Okay, so the IP address is publicly available. Technically, you can use Helm to do the install as well. Yeah, unless you guys have any other questions, yeah, I can share you the whole slides, so which makes it easier. Anyone using Canva? How you guys create slides? I was paying Microsoft for many years. I stopped using. And you know, a few weeks back, my friend told me, why are you not trying Canva? Canva actually pretty cool when you create the slides. So one of the coolest stuff is actually, it can create the completely viewable. And I can easily share with everybody. So from you just scan this QR code, not this one, okay? That QR code is the left side, that's my LinkedIn. If you scan this QR code, you can get the whole slide, so you can read, you can check it later. So a little bit more information I put into the slides about, the slides is boring, yeah. Instead, I just do the live demo to show you how it works. I hope it is useful to you all, yeah. And yeah, as I say, I got quite a few slides listed here, how to optimize, for example, yeah. That's it. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope it is useful to you guys. Why it's not loading? So I think it's my internet, yeah. Feel free to join our community, support our community. Scan the QR code, you can find out lots of surprises. Actually, even the QR code is clickable. Have you guys tried? Yeah. If you click this, it will take you to our landing page. That's the landing page I was running to help more people. So you can join us to keep updated. So lots of surprises here. I keep share all the learning certification, event discount code to help more people on their cloud native journey more affordable. Okay. With that, thank you everybody. I hope it is useful to you all. Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we still have a few minutes, does anyone have any other question to Yongkang before we end the session today?
Yeah, happy to answer any question. I'm still here around. Yeah, even during break, feel free to ask me any questions. My passion is to help more community people. Yeah.
Okay, seems like there's no more other questions, so now we can have a quick break and we'll be back at 7 p.m. for the second speaker. Yeah, feel free to grab more food and drink and stretch your legs. Thank you. Alright everyone, let's get started again. So before we are moving to the second speaker, can I invite Nigel to quickly talk about our next 10 days?
Hi everyone. For next year, we're looking at starting something a little bit new, which is a hack days program every now and then. The idea of it is that it's probably not for people who do this all day, every day for work, because you'll be really sick of it. But if you're if you just have some projects, you have some interests, some questions, you can get together with some other people who are just making stuff, then we'll have some informal meetups in libraries and things like that. So I can guarantee we'll have some people with skills in packaging, containerizing, and web stuff, because that's me. And I don't know who else will have. So was there a question?
Yeah. So, for example, I'm kind of struggling with I try to write code like a tiny project using Flow, but I'm struggling with Flow. I never used it. So, would that be suitable?
I've done quite a bit with Dillo,
Oh,
yes. So you can talk to me about that today.
All right, yeah,
Yes,
because
but,
I'm really struggling.
pretty much anything, yes. Whatever mess you've gotten into through vibe coding, we'll try and sort it out. And I think that's about it. So if you're interested, join the Slack group, and then join the Hack Days channel. And we'll organise things on there and try and get something going next year. Well, I don't remember.
We do have a
Yeah, but you can probably join it just by going to
I think I saw it before, but I was too late.
Yes. You can probably just go to that address, I suspect.
Thanks, Nigel. And the next one, I would like to welcome Asad to talk about the Get Involved session.
Hey guys, thank you for joining the meetup. So we have a few ways you can get involved in the community. We are looking for organizers and MC. So you can, just like Firuna, she's doing a fantastic job today. It's her first time, so maybe we can give her a round of applause. You can contribute as well. You can stand here and help us with the MC. Then you can get involved as sponsor liaison. We are looking for sponsors to sponsor our nice pizzas, drinks, and we are looking for speaker liaison. So if you are someone who can reach out to people on LinkedIn, or maybe someone in your network who's interested to talk, or maybe if you guys are interested to talk, get in touch. And we are looking for university liaison to develop relationships with different universities to get more students involved and spread awareness across different universities. So feel free to reach out for us for that. And we are looking for mentors, so they can help with the hack days, and we have mentorship program coming up as well. So yeah, these are a few ways you can get involved. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now we are moving on to our second speaker. Let's welcome Ian Becker. He will share his talk titled Turning the Table. Yeah.
First off, is there anyone that can't hear me? Put your hand up if you can't hear me. I love that line. I don't like using these, so I try not to and sing out because you're going to have to sing out pretty hard because it's a bit hard of hearing. Boa constructor. We're going to have a look at a boa constructor, and you've got no idea what that is, but don't worry, I'm about to tell you. And I'm going from the other side, and I'm going to explain that in just a moment. I'm going to put this thing down. Is it going to go bang when I do? Wonderful. Let's just have a look at what the agenda is for this. There's a few words I want to say to start with. I'll get to that in a minute. We're going to have a look at Boa Constructor just to sort of raise the curtain. Boa Constructor is a Python application, and it's an IDE for Python, writing Python applications. And you may think that that's fairly unremarkable, but well, wait and have a look. Its history, some of the problems and the solutions on working on this program, some analysis on the other side of, that's come up in a second, and what's next for me in Boa Constructor. Now, if you go to Meetup and you have a look at the invitation for this meeting, you'll find these words written into it. and the beard tells you that I've been around and I've probably fall into this group. And I do in a lot of senses, but for Python, I actually fall into this group. I've been dabbling for years, but not really getting into it and not really understanding. I understand enough of it. Look, after you've done C, Java, Pascal, whatever, it all just becomes a matter of syntax. What do I need for ifs, you know? So my point of that, this is that when I say I can't work out quite how to make this plugin work, I don't really want people rolling their eyes, because everybody here knows that. It's not my forte. So be gentle. That's the issue. Now, here's a quick thing. I used to work at RMIT as a casual academic. In doing that, I delivered tutorials. Towards the end of the year, the academic semester, attendance tapered off. That's because students had hundreds of bloody assignments to do, all due in a 2-week period. And so, when you get to the very last one, attendance is pretty low. The people who ran the course, they knew what they were doing, so they put all the non-examinable stuff in the last tutorial. And that made sense. So I used to start that tutorial with, if you have deadlines for your assignments, if you've got a project or something, and it's worth 50% of your assignment, or your assessment, please go and attend to it now. You don't really need to be here. I'm giving you the same message. If you have a project deadline that's coming at you like a freight train, or you haven't seen your family members in 3 days, do not stay for this. Attend to those other things. Okay, this really is the lowest of low levels. And the fact that I'm not a professional programmer in Python gives you an understanding of what the other side is. I'm coming at it from not knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so what's bioconstructor? The key bit here, it's an IDE, so it's got an editor, it's got the shell, it's got debugger, all that stuff, you know. Everything you'd expect, PyCharm, think of PyCharm. But it's highly integrated with the WX Python graphics toolkit. And what that leads to is something that looks very much like Visual Basic. It doesn't look like it, but it sort of functions roughly like it. You know, you pick stuff out, you make up a nice interface, and basically all you've got to do is write the stubs that it provides for you. Delphi was a very early object-oriented thing that was the basis of Bob. Now, I think that says it all. Yep. This is interesting. It was written in 1999. That was the first release of bioconstructor. Great name though, isn't it? You build programs, bioconstructor. And it was aimed particularly at these people who, you know, picked up a contract on Tuesday, and then the CEO of the company would ring on Thursday and say, can we see a draft, you know, this sort of stuff. So it was written specifically for them. When Python went to version 2.7, and it was not backward compatible to 1, it had to be updated, the software I'm talking about for bioconstructor. And there was an Indonesian gentleman who took on that task and did an 80% job of it, which wasn't too bad, and it was functional. But since then, both these major pieces of software base have been updated. We've gone to version 3 for Python, version 4.2 for WX Python, and that's just, that killed bioconstructor off pretty much completely because people were not able to, there wasn't enough manpower to update the thing, that's basically it. So it led to diminished use and lack of support. But what just shocks me, and one of the stimulations for doing this, was that if you go to, I think it's SourceForge, would be the original base of the software, and it's still being downloaded. It's like tens a week. I mean, it blows my mind. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a demand still for this, and if it worked in the current environment, wow, that would be a better thing. So this is my task that I've set myself in my retirement, to update bioconstructor's code so that it will work in a modern environment. Oh, quick demo. I don't know whether that's wise. It's never worked before. Let's give it a try. This is PyCharm, but I just use it to get the thing started. It does work by itself. I'm so used to this. This is it. This is out. Now, why didn't that come up? It's on my screen. Why isn't it on yours? Right. I'll take that out. Okay, why? Okay, so it's just up there now. What if I want to get this stuff out? How do I do that? Well, go ahead. Aha! It's so wonderful having people who know what they're talking about. Thanks. The editor is almost self-explanatory. I don't know. It's based on Scintilla. It's relatively modern. It has code suggestion, code completion, all that stuff. So I'm not going to spend any time on that. But what gets interesting is the one up the top. It's called the palette, and it's showing you at this point the things in WX Python that you are allowed to use in your development. This area here is the inspector, and it will become quite obvious shortly what that means. So there are quite a lot of WX Python items. There's containers, there's lots of these controls that you can see, click boxes and what have you, buttons. There's controllers. I won't go on because unless you actually know what these do, there's not much point. Now, the question is, how many of these work? There's just so many of these things. Everyone with lots of buttons. It's a lot of work to get these things going again. There's enough to do the tutorial structure. There's enough to do this presentation. So let's have a quick go. We'll start with you, and the way things kick off is that you go with a WX application. It's very small, isn't it? When you click on that, you're automatically given a base set of code. And you might notice that it's not just one, but two. There's the application and the frame. The frame is almost self-explanatory in graphics terms. Yes, and there's the application. Source, there it is. Once you have the frame, you can now get started on designing your application. That button clicks up and it shows what the code was. It shows what the code will give you when you actually run it. This is it. And let's just make it a touch bigger. Now, as I make it bigger, I want you to have a look over here where it says size. And you'll note that the details of it are all going to match. I think this is very similar to Visual Basic. I don't think I need to spend too much time on this, but the idea of the inspector is that it shows you the characteristics of the thing that you've currently highlighted. Same thing with position. If I move it up, then this position value changes. And so let's get started designing something, anything. We want a container. We need to start with, in WX Python, you need to start with a panel. And that's my panel. Now, a lot of the things in this system, when you take them from there and pop them over here, they are tokenized. This is just a token to show you this is what it is. This is, you put it here. Now, what do you want to do with it? In my case, for panels, you always want to redraw them because I'll always take up the whole frame, and you can then start using it. Okay, cool. Now we've got a panel and a frame. Now I'm not too sure about the name there, so if I can change the name. Whoops. Can't spell. And updates accordingly. And well, let's just get some text in there. Basic text. There's text, and this the inspector's updated to now look at the thing that you've got highlighted. So now we're going to do something with the text. Let's see if we can keep this to a reasonable time. Let's update it in terms of, now, this is important. These details here are construction details needed to create this static text. The static text itself has a whole lot of other properties. What does this tick mean on the side? Well, the tick on the side means that there are multiple attributes to that particular characteristic. So you've got X and Y makes position. If we go to the properties, and we say, okay, I want to change the font. So I'm going to unclick that and say, yes, let's do something with this. Let's make it 28. Oh, I've misspelled that. Oh, too bad. Doesn't matter. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to make it. I'm going to change the colour. I just want to do foreground colour, and get a colour chart. Pick colour. Nice. That'll do. And now we've got our. So, if we use this tick, or this tick over here, that's a reference to posting. The cross obviously cancels it out. When you post, all your code has now been updated to reflect those graphic items and elements. There's one further step we've got to do. We have to save this thing. So what I usually do for the first one, this item here allows you to do multiple saves. This is the worst part. I have to rewrite this at some point. Keep in mind that it's cross-platform, so the person who wrote this was thinking along the lines of a Unix or Linux person. For Windows, that's really not particularly useful, so I'm just going to have to go somewhere else. It doesn't really matter where. And we'll put it in. Oh, wait a minute, what happened there? Did I click on the wrong one? Yeah. So I'm going to save my frame there and out there. Once they're saved, you can run that from here. So bang, there it is. Now, I really like this. There's my code. I haven't written any Python yet, and I've already got that. This is cool. I hate this stuff. It's too easy to make a mistake. It's too easy to not know which syntax is correct. Okay, so let's just quickly, this is the last key point here before we get on with the other stuff. Let's pick a button, any button will do. And no, not that. Change the label and call it color change. That'll do. And it would be good if it was bigger. And properties will change its font width. Make it 18. Okay, so there's my button. Excuse me. Now, buttons need events. They have to have events. So how do you get an event and make this all hook up? Well, this is the part. As well as properties and construction, you also have the events associated with that object. This list changes according to what object you've selected or have selected at the time. So here we are with our button, and it's the button event that we're interested in. And when you double click on that, it gives you this event down here. Now, on button 1, button is not particularly useful. You can update it and change it. I'm not going to do that here because if we leave everything straight, things won't go wrong. That says you want this event taken care of. It's very interesting that there are so many. There's double clicks and whether you hover and all of that sort of stuff. So there's heaps of stuff there available. At that point, I'll say, yeah, that's good. That's all I want to do. And what happens is that now, apart from there's our text, we now have a button as well. And we have a stub where we can put some code in about what we want the button to do. And to do that, just to save a little bit of time, the actual code that I want is this stuff here. So we just pop it in there. Now, as I said to you before, did you see that little dance of the line backwards and forwards? That's an error in this code. The scintilla is probably fine, and this is a derivative of it. It's something I have done, or somebody previously has done, has stuck that up. That's so tiny compared to all the other things I've got to do in this. I'll get to it eventually. Okay, so there's a bit of code, and yeah, well, I don't think there's much to say about that. If it's red, make it blue. If it's otherwise, it's already blue, so make it red. That's all that says. So I'm going to these symbols up here say it's not saved. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to run it. And does it work? Well, yes, it does. Amazing. So how many lines? Like 5 lines of code I had to write. Oh, it was tough. And you've got to this point. So where's this useful? Amateur dumbos like me, it makes it easier for me. But there are a lot of applications in specific companies with lots of critical data that they can't farm out, and they need to build applications internally, or it's complicated data that needs a lot of manipulation and they want to manage it in this way. They have to write their own applications. This has a space for that. Okay, there's enough of that. Let's get rid of this thing. I'm going to close that, go back to here. So there's the quick demo. Let's have a look at some of the dramas that this has presented. Getting started was a problem. If you've got a code that runs on 2.7 and you can't get it to run on 3, there was only one path back, and that was to recreate the past. 2.7, 2.4, and PyCharm, a very, very ancient PyCharm, which, and this was just magnificent, it was timed. You got 15 minutes, and then it's blocked. It says, would you like to buy this? You obviously like it. Close down, start up, away we go again. Hour after hour. So that was a bit of fun in itself. I mean, it took me long enough just to work out what to do with that. And this is the situation where you would be like, oh, I know what I do. I just start a VM and I do this and I do that. Exceptions in print are 2 major changes from 2 to 3. And somebody wrote this thing called 2 to 3.py or whatever it was. Oh, magnificent. Like, after the first 3/4 of an hour changing print statements and what have you, you get a little bored. And this really, really, like hundreds, especially, like there's so many files in, just a quick, well no, I'm in the middle of this, so keep going. But there's thousands, seems to be anyway. In the old Python, strings were bytes, and it was used interchangeably. It was not a problem, but it is a problem when they move to Unicode and your string has a /u or something like that, is a u/, which says the rest is an escape code for a Unicode, and it didn't work. So there are lots of bulk finds to look for strings that didn't start with an R. R stands for raw, which means there's no code inside the string, no Unicodes, so you can just treat it as a string. So that helped, and there was a fair bit of handcrafting about what kind of quotes were used. They're going to start on that. Okay, this was so interesting. As a bumbling amateur in this area, I could not work out where, like, you press those buttons, you say, oh, panel. Oh, click here, button. Where is that code? That's it. And it was very, very hard to figure it out. And it's so ridiculously simple, the answer to it. they all start at one point and just pass a parameter into that, and then they jump off into other parts. But I got so frustrated, it took me, I had to search the entire code base for status bar and try and you know, I couldn't find it because the entire code uses SB for status bar. So frustrating. Okay, so there's that. I was trying to decide whether it should be idiosyncrasies or idioticness. They've done some strange things when they went to the latest version of WM's Python. They restructured the language, so where the libraries are in a structure, when you want to find a particular button, they broke them apart. So they had general buttons and they had color buttons or something like that. And so what was working would no longer work. You had to get the right structure. That's not unreasonable. This is unreasonable. They would change the name of an attribute. So, for instance, when you use the parameters for creating a button and you had location, when you wanted to update the location, you don't use location, you use position. Why? Why? Set, get, position. So there was those sort of problems. And other similar ones. Now this was hard. It's straight out hard. In Python, in bioconstructor, the blue rectangle represents PyCharm. So as I have been doing all the time, you start bioconstructor up in PyCharm, and like this original software was written internationally. It was a very big bunch of people doing it. The debugger was designed so that it could run locally, but it could also run on your application server. So you would work at your desk, but you connect remotely to the debugger on the application server. And it was even set up so multiple people could work on the debugger or connect to the debugger. I can't see how that would work, but that's apparently what they did. How does this work here? Well, when a new thread is created for this debugger, the debugger passes back the port that it's listening to, its process ID, and a hash code. And that allows you to have it here or somewhere else. But the problem is it's hidden from my blue box. So when I'm trying to debug the debugger, I can't see what the debugger was doing other than what was sent back. And that was a bit of a problem. And it took a bit of fussing around to fix it. This is how it was fixed. I start an instance of bioconstructor in a PyCharm, and another instance of PyCharm to start the debugger. In this, I altered the code so it simply printed it out in the system log. So I had this information. Then you start the debugger here, and it dutifully starts it. But I had some code in here that I could interrupt the process of the start, and instead supply the information from the other debugger, so that now it would talk to it backwards and forwards rather than its local one. I mean, it's all local, it's all in my one machine, but it wasn't using the debugger that it had created, it was using mine over here, and then I could see everything that it was doing. It was clumsy, hard, awkward, but I did get it down to the point where this was one string. It was copy, paste, and it was done. So it was just such a pain to try and figure out how to do that. Okay. This is a bit, this is sort of where we emphasise that I'm an amateur at this whole show. Oh yeah, not so bright. What does that refer to? Now, I want to explain to you that I worked many years at RMIT, tutoring, head tutoring, lecturing, a lot. So arguably, when you're delivering a lecture or you're the tutor, you are the smartest person in the room for that particular activity. But when I come here, and we rub shoulders, and oh yeah, I write stuff for an investment bank, and yeah, I work for NASA, and oh my God, the brains in this room alone. Who needs a Kubernetes? crikey. The point I'm trying to make is you guys are really nice and friendly and approachable, but you know so much more than me that it was a bit, I came to the first couple this year, but I stopped coming. That was just a bit overwhelming. And I had never passed a Python course. I took Python in the undergraduate. It was Python and Perl, that's how long ago it was. And I didn't get through it, I didn't pass it. But that's probably because I was working full-time and studying part-time at night. And my wife gave birth to twins. And our family lived 1,000 miles away. So we were on our own. It was pretty busy, and study sort of got a lower priority. So that was the only subject I've ever failed. There it is. I want to talk about Lone Ranger. Not with Tonto or anything, but and again, here I go on my steam-driven trip back in time. When I was 5 years old, we got a TV in black and white. It was amazing. We got the phone connected when I was 8 years old. If you went, like at school, if you had assignments, the only source of knowledge was mum or dad was smart in maths and art, but not so much in social studies and that sort of stuff. So any of that information you needed, you had to go to the library. You had to look it up in encyclopedias, obviously. In the end, you were responsible for what you could produce. You were the only person that was capable of doing a good job. So that makes me a bit reticent to get involved with groups and other people and being reliant on them. And that leads to this point, which in fact is a reference to you people and also to some friends of mine and some of the RMIT people. There's a lot of resources available that I should have made use of and didn't. Because of that, I've got to do it. It has to be me to do it. This is quite severe. Like after watching the previous speaker, oh wow, you know, all the stuff that he can do with his Kubernetes, etc. The tools, and I'm talking about GitHub, and I'm talking about Cloudflare, and I'm talking about short stack. No, that's pancakes. Stack Overflow. That's it. I knew it was something from stacks. Yeah, so all of these things that they're important. And I have to say, Stack Overflow is such an incredible resource. I have never ever posted to it. I found all the answers just by reading everybody else's posts. It's quite amazing. But I wasn't very aware of this when I started the process. And the distrustful tool. COMSOL is a physics simulation program. It's very, very detailed. And I could never get it to work because it was so complicated. You know, I'll just go to the materials label and go down and pick magnetic remnants, and it's not there because it's a different version of software. I can't get the damn thing to work. And it's just, you needed to know a lot about it to get it to go. And that's how I felt about a lot of, well, it actually is true for things like, my friend helped me put together a user site for Boa Constructor and website, and he did it using a thing called Nuxt. I don't know whether this is, there's a Nuxt man? Yeah, okay. Never heard of it before. I said, you've got a problem with your venture or something? But it's actually, that's the dangerous thing. So that was the issue. That was some of the things I ran into. Oh, wrap up. Yes. Well, that's easy. There are just bucket loads of extra items in. Most of those buttons don't work in the palette thing. A lot of them do. I should pull up a thing because it's got a whole lot of stuff. I might do it. This is an interesting one. It doesn't have drag and drop. It really should in this day and age. Context sensitive writer. The help system was brilliant in the first one, but it doesn't work anymore. I have to get it to work again. The is it worth it discussion is an interesting one. The issue is, if you've got things like, well, I said to Copilot, are there anything other ideas like bioconstructor? And it listed about half a dozen of them, straight off. And I thought, well, why am I doing this? At the moment, it's a legacy program, and it costs nothing for me, nothing for someone else to use. and it's a retirement activity. Re-engineering the back end. I spoke to the guy who originally wrote it, emailed him, and he said, I said, what do you reckon we should do? I mean, there's things in it that don't look right to even to me, that I know enough about systems to say this looks funky. He said, if I was writing it now, I'd never write it like that. So re-engineer the back end. So that you use a website. Yeah, I don't know how to use GitHub to manage large projects. I've never been involved in it. I mean, I have a GitHub account, people downloading from time to time, but you know, if 6 people turned up and said, what do I do? I don't know. But I would like to just quickly, if I can. This was something I was writing for a video, instructional video that I was putting together for this is a really small show of some of the stuff. You've got drop-down boxes. I don't know why I put 2 of them there, no idea. Buttons, meters, and lever, what do they call those? Whatever that is, thing down the bottom. Digital displays. Handy date pickers, there's colour pickers, there's just a huge range of stuff. And even in the, oh yeah, I've got a tab here. This is a tabbed book. The second tab reads time travel. I'll give you 5 seconds to think what might be on that, because it might be what you think. That's it. And not that. Yeah, okay. That really wraps it up. Just close everything down again. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian, for such an incredible session. Does anyone have any question?
So many
I know a lot about steam locomotives. Is that helpful?
I think it's very cool anyway.
That's what I want to hear. A bit of encouragement.
And I was thinking about us as software engineers, and it's like, that is the real deal, because the work never stops and we always want to keep trying things, and it doesn't matter why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
well,
has,
you realise now I'm going to call every single one of you.
Well, we can teach you how to use GitHub, that's it.
Yeah, I hope so.
We can't do that.
And then, since this is also still Python, that it can be run as an executable software.
Oh, that's a really good question. The question is that using boa constructor in that manner, does it actually produce an executable? And the answer is that it most certainly does. Sorry, it produces a .py, and you can build modules that it will load up and import and what have you. But obviously from any DOS level window, you have to execute Python and it's Python and then the name of the program that you've written .py, basically. So yes, it's effectively executable. Yeah.
Can you run the apps on like Ubuntu or Debian, like any platform?
Oh, that's a good question. Can you use it on other architectures?
Yeah, like any.
Yeah, well, it's Python. It's supposed to run, like so long as you can load WX Python and Python on the machine you've got, you should be the right versions of it, because they need to work together. Then it should work. And one of my biggest problems at the moment is that someone, I wanted to test these things. Someone gave me an Apple machine, and I can't believe it. It's got the PyCharm disease. It works for 8 minutes and then goes black, literally, and restarts. So I need to find another way to test on Macs. And I haven't run it up in Unix, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
My last experience with WX widgets was over a decade ago now, but that was sort of the appeal of it is cross-platform. You write it once against WX widgets, and it runs on all platforms, and it looks the same on all platforms, mostly.
I can confirm because I'm using Mac. I mean laptop. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
but,
hearing again, what was that?
I can confirm it will work in Mac.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
Yes.
of Mac.
That's wonderful, thank you.
So yeah, so it can, since it's Python, you can use different type of databases to connect to that. Okay, cool.
Yes, it is cool.
Now I can, imagine a lot of applications for that. Thanks.
Yeah, it's fairly specific. It's a fairly limited user group, but yeah, I think it has a place.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Just wanted to know. So basically, in this, it is like kind of like a GUI. So which basically provides instructions, like supposedly it gives all the arguments for a particular program, like a particular Python function and these kind of things. But like the things like data structures, so like how normal software engineering actually works, supposedly they plan out the system architecture and these kind of things. Is that also available in WX Python? Or is it in
WX Python?
Yeah.
Okay, the question is to do with data architectures. And that's really, from my understanding, is that's more a Python issue. I mean, you can create records and do all sorts of stuff as you wish, data structures, I mean. The value here is you don't have to write the graphics code, and you can access it and you can manipulate it. It's not really built for, as much as WX Python has got things like tables and other things behind it that you can do. And in fact, that's another interesting point. There is a plugin system for Bioconstructor, and I've turned just about all of it off because none of it works. But what does work, I mean, what doesn't work, there is PyPlot, there's Java, there's C, there's even X25, which is a very old comms protocol. There's a thing called ZOAP, which I believe is a very old object-oriented web communication protocol. Not sure about it, but there's stacks of stuff in there. There's things you can use to draw icons, like the little icon things. There is a UML drawing in there, and there's also a performance parser, which tells you how long you spent in each part of the code. It's all in there, and that one works, amazingly. So I just see it would have a lot of broad applications if we could get all of that stuff working again. Even if you only wanted this, it's there. Sorry, getting on my soapbox again.
I have a question, but I guess it's mostly for the room, as far as PyTorch users. I've been giving JetBrains money for years, so I've never run into things talking about where it's timed. Is that a thing? I thought they had the community edition, which... No,
sorry, let me be clear. The current edition is a community edition, it is not timed.
Okay.
So what I was using there is fine, but the one that I needed to get started was about 20 releases back in a time, and that was the one that was done. I can't understand why they want to make you pay for something that's 100 years old. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I've gone over time, I realize that. Anyone else? Thank you. I'll be getting your names afterwards.
Thank you. All right, thank you once again, Ian and Yongkang as well for such an incredible session today. And with that, we'll come to the end of our talk for tonight. But feel free to stay back and have a chit chat. We still have the venue until 8 p.m. And don't forget to join the QR code, to scan the QR code to join our community on Slack to stay connected. Thank you. Thank everyone. Have a wonderful evening. And I hope to see you guys for the upcoming event as well. Thank you.